Hi crafty friends! I have another rainbow themed project for you today. I made 3 colorful bookmarks and I would like to share the process with you. I have a full supply list in the description box below, so you can refer to that link if you want to know what I used for this project. I started with the really rainbow paper pack from Cloud9. This is by far my most favorite patterned paper pack of all times. It has all these colorful rainbow papers. So I chose 3 different patterns for 3 different bookmarks. I die cut these with the largest of the large mini slimline rectangles. So I'm not using a specific bookmark die, I will create these bookmarks with basic dies that I already have in my stash. So you can see here already that I have those 3 rectangles that I die cut. And look at all those pretty colors, I love them already. I wanted to add a colorful sentiment on those bookmarks, so I chose the Scripty Bubble Sentiment stamp set. It has these larger outline sentiments that you can color. So I will stamp the words hugs, smile and love onto a piece of Transotype perfect coloring paper. I'm doing this with Cloud9 Jet Black ink, which is a perfect black ink for Copic coloring. I had to stamp this 2 times just because I didn't get a perfectly stamped outline the first time. I find this font very whimsical and I just love that you can color these in just the way you want to. So, of course, I wanted to add a whole rainbow to all these sentiments. So I took my lightest markers from different color families and I started with a blue marker in the middle of that sentiment, so here of that word love. And I'm just tracing one side of that outline, more on the outside, and then I'm moving to the left with all my rainbow markers. I'm doing this 2 times and then I am blending it out with my colorless blender. And when that's done, I'm starting in the middle again and then I'm doing just the same thing. So I'm working my way through the rainbow colors on the right side. So eventually I have 2 full rainbows on my sentiments. So I color with my markers 2 times and then I blend it out with my colorless blender. There's actually no right or wrong way to do this. You can see all those caps of my markers that I used there on the left. I did those 3 words in the exact same manner, just as you can see here. So now I'm just die cutting these with the coordinating dies of that stamp set. Back to the bookmarks. I'm taking the second to largest of the small mini slimline rectangles and I'm die cutting this out of Bristol Smooth cardstock. Later on I will adhere this on top of those larger rainbow rectangles. I didn't take the largest small mini slimline just because I wanted a nice thick rainbow border. I really wanted to show off that patterned paper. I took Bristol Smooth cardstock here because I will be ink blending these panels. So just to make sure you get it right, there is a large mini slimline set and a small mini slimline set, and I use them both to create these bookmarks. On the back I wrote down the colors I will be using for my ink blending, again using 3 different combos to switch it up just a little bit. So for this first one I'm using Scattered Straw and Worn Lipstick, both Distress Oxide colors. A beautiful combination, I think. So I'm starting with the yellow color on the bottom of the panel and then I'm going in with the pink on the top of the panel. I'm blending those 2 together and I'm going back and forth between the 2 colors until I'm happy with my blending. After that I'm doing just the same thing with my other 2 panels. On the second one I'm using Squeezed Lemonade and Picked Raspberry, which is a little bit more bold than the Worn Lipstick. And on my third panel I had Squeezed Lemonade and Salvaged Patina. You can find all the supplies in the supply list below. Now, I really did want it to look like a bookmark, so for that I die cut the largest of the Tag Your It tag. Again, I chose 3 patterned papers out of that same really rainbow paper pack, so all the colors would coordinate nicely. I chose a pink, a green and a yellow for this. I wanted all bookmarks to be a little bit different from each other, so switching up papers is a good way to make 3 unique projects with just the same design. For every bookmark, I have 3 die cuts. First, I have that larger patterned paper mini slimline. Then the die cut tag goes on top. And then that smaller ink blended piece goes on top of that. And I can decorate that ink blended piece with my sentiment too. The tag will stick out at the top there just a little bit, so I can feed a piece of twine through it later. So here I'm just playing a little bit, seeing which color combos I like best together. Before decorating further, I'm adhering all layers on top of each other. I'm adhering the tag onto that bottom larger mini slimline, and then I am adhering the ink blended panel on top of that. This looks like a bookmark already, don't you think? I do need the first half of the sentiment, so I stamp those on a scrap piece of paper with black ink and I trim down that sentiment. I'm so sorry, apparently I don't have any footage of that. I also took the High Five stamp set and I stamped 2 little bees from that set on perfect coloring paper. Again, I did this with Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink, so I can copy color the images later. In the end, I won't be using these stamped hearts I stamped here. To color these bees, I used a BG000 marker and the colorless blender for the wings. And for its body, I used Y15, Y13 and Y11. For the blushy cheeks, I used R22 and R30, just like I normally do. And I only used my white gel pen for white dots in those cheeks. Time to assemble everything. I'm adhering all my die cuts on top of the bookmark, so the sentiment and then those 2 little bees. In that Tag Your It die set, you have these little reinforcers. So I die cut these out of the same patterned papers I used before. So now I just have to glue them in place here. Then I'm threading through a piece of twine. It's a beautiful pinky sparkle cord. It's actually the only one I have in my stash, but it fits perfectly with these rainbow bookmarks. I'm also trimming off any excess with my scissors, just because I don't want that twine to be super long. But then I noticed, look at this. The front is beautiful, but the back of these bookmarks aren't that pretty. So I took the same patterned papers as before, and I just trimmed these to 3 by 6, I think it is, which is the exact size of the bookmarks, and I just adhered these on the back of these bookmarks. To finish it off, I just stamped a few hearts on all the bookmarks. So these hearts come from the same High Five stamp set. I think I stamped about 5 on each bookmark, which is an uneven number, and uneven numbers appear to be more pleasing to the eye. I also took my glitter pen and I went over those 3 words, hugs, smile and love, just to add that little bit of shimmer. And this finishes off my projects for today. I'm very happy with how these turned out. I will be giving them to some crafty friends, I think, so I hope they will like this little gift. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I can't wait to be back with another card project. Have a great day. Bye!